Right.
Oh.
Because
We got it.
Wait.
How is it working?
Yeah.
because I did I changed it to studio mode.
Oh,
Yay.
Settings.
we're back.
I apologize, everyone.
No, don't panic.
Nothing happened. That was all part of the show.
All planned out
Yep.
exactly how we
It's
wanted.
intrigue. Everyone's
You
like,
never
what's
know.
going on? You don't know, do you? But you
Okay.
want to.
What I'm trying.
Professional show here.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Cool. Warm spicy milk. That's a fantastic name, by the way.
Wait, what? Like a chai latte?
No, that's someone's name.
It was,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Warm, spicy milk. Like, you could put cinnamon in milk. You could put chai tea
I'm
with
thinking
milk.
milk that's been in the sun, but that's
Oh.
just me.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're gonna go here. There's everyone.
Put it back.
Welcome.
Hey!
Okay, if you could introduce yourself. Oh, I'm Froggy. Most of the people that will ever watch will already probably know me because they're family and friends, because that's who wants to watch.
Mm.
Something wrong
Okay.
with that.
All right. First off, top left is
I'm Emily. Nice to meet you. Am I supposed to introduce my character too?
not yet.
Okay.
Give
I'm
a
just
fun
Emily.
fact.
Yeah, fun fact.
Fun
Yeah.
fact. I really like coffee.
Oh,
Is
it's
that
Caleb.
a fun fact? I don't know.
Your coffee? It was actually Caleb.
Oh, hey, Caleb.
Yeah.
Hi, Caleb.
We know him.
We give shout outs to people we
Caleb.
know.
I'm Nikki. I am 26 years old.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. That's a fun fact.
All right.
What's fun fact about me?
Mine's my fiance, so that's.
Oh,
yeah.
you.
I'm just claiming you on the
you're
internet.
gonna take
Oh,
that
yeah,
fun
yeah.
fact.
Nice.
So I can no
Um,
internet trolls.
Let's see. I like to draw.
Mhm.
I like to take pictures. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I have something fun. I want you to guess how old I am in the comments.
Okay.
That's
One of my
that's fire with
favoriteest
fire.
games.
Okay.
It's
Well-
okay. I won't
Okay,
be
well
offended.
I'm Chris,
Also-
by the way. Fine, whatever.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm just
It's
fun.
okay. You can
That's
Oh,
just
go
a
ahead.
fact.
Yeah.
That's your fact, is that you're fun?
I'm just fun, yeah. But
Who are you?
what? Yeah,
You're
it
supposed
doesn't
to say
matter.
who
It
you
doesn't
are.
matter, man. We're just gonna
Uh,
go on the age guessing game. We'll just fine. Skip
You also
over.
have to guess how old this guy is.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually.
Could you hit power on the AC and then turn the fan on low, and let's actually see what it's like.
Yeah. that's-
Another fun fact, it's 93 degrees today.
Wait, how do you know it's low? Is F1 low?
Yeah. That's got to be annoying.
Is it annoying,
Is
people?
is that annoying?
Yes.
Caleb, is
Comment
that annoying?
below.
Tell us.
It
Comment
probably
below.
Probably.
Not if we talk really loud, then it won't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I could do is, all right, troubleshooting wise, I could have that on the other side of the room. The mic.
Or just like one of those big, like hairy guy things, like a boom mic.
Maybe.
A
Well,
giant
or-
windscreen.
Or I could hang it from that.
Okay, well, anyways, we
Yeah,
probably
we'll
won't do
look
that right
into it.
now.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, he can hear it in the background. He doesn't know about annoying. So.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll
Alrighty.
just go into it.
Okay, well, welcome to Froggy and Friends. We're so professional, being that this is the first time I dressed up.
Mm-hmm.
Buttons.
2 whole buttons.
Okay, Chris, did you actually give a fun fact or anything?
No. Well, I just stole it from
Oh, okay.
fiance.
Okay, nice. All right,
That's what.
cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I've got a fun fact. I'm married to Emily. She's my wife and stuff. There.
Ooh.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
Copycat.
Except we're actually married.
Oh.
One up.
Yep. I know. That's because you're needy.
Some people's kids.
Fight is already in. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Division within the group. First day.
Some people's goals are very low. Alrighty. Let's see here. Is there anything else you guys want to
No.
chat about? Okay.
No, we.
Game.
Okay. Well, for those watching, what this session's really going to be is we're going to recap kind of the things that we haven't been able to stream, so you guys can get caught up. And then when we may or may not be getting to gameplay today, but definitely the following session with this group, we'll be continuing the story which you guys have actually been caught up on. So, let's begin. This is the realm of Valok. The continent you are on is Walova. The 3 moons circling are Svet, Melok, Vorneg, and all of you would know, and that this planet this realm is kind of in a constant state of change and rebirth every few thousand years, where civilization goes up and then collapses. The year would be 697. And that is after the 3rd fall. That's a pretty good starting point. Now, where we started with session 1 was everyone is at entering the port of Baldair. It's a very hustling, very busy harbor and port. Speaking of which, let's see if we can use technology to be helpful today. Boom. Okay. We have sound effects, you guys might not. Now, in the...
It was the boom. It was the
Yeah.
boom, wasn't it? Okay.
Shakalaka. It was actually because I had studio mode.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so at the port of Baldair, I have a map drawn out, and I can show that next time when I have the battle cam and stuff. Do you guys want to tell how you guys?
Well,
How should we introduce our characters first?
Well,
Or
yeah, we can do it that way. We can totally introduce our characters first.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
They don't know me.
well, who wants to start?
okay, I will start.
Yeah.
Should I show the picture that I have of?
No, because that's not the
No.
way he looks.
Okay. Okay, my character, his name is Doug, and he's a halfling, and he really enjoys drinking beer. I think that everybody likes him, but they just kind of act sometimes like they don't like him. I think he's helpful, but, as you guys will find out, people have differing opinions about Doug. But I have grown very close to Doug, and I think he's a really amiable character. He likes to cook, so he cooks for everyone on their adventures. He is on the hunt for squirrel eggs. Nobody else believes in them, but they're real, and he will prove it in one of these sessions, I'm sure. What else about Doug? I feel like other people have different things they would say about Doug, so you guys will get to enjoy their differing opinions once we start playing.
So my character's name is Armin, and she is half elf, half human, and she is 27 years old. And yeah, I don't know how in depth I'm supposed to get. Let's see, her.
You could describe the way your character looks.
Okay, so she is 5'7" and around 140 pounds, and she is very dark tan, dark red hair, gold eyes, long ears. Whereas Cape, she has a pet crow, raven,
You often forgot.
named Bird. Is his
Very
name,
original.
and he can only say one word, and that's idiot. So yeah, and she's kind of a loner. She doesn't like a whole lot of people. Some people can kind of worm their way into her heart a little bit, but it's still pretty much ice, surrounded by ice in there. So she's very standoffish. She has a tendency to get the group into some trouble with her devil may care sort of attitude. But she doesn't really see it that way. She thinks maybe the group is a little bit, just a little bit, needs to loosen up a little bit. She is it class? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Is sorcerer.
Yep.
And yeah, that's pretty much Armin.
Okay.
She's the hot girl of the group.
There go to that. A snack
The
up.
only
girl.
the only girl of the group, so therefore.
Yes. Yep.
By
Real high
default.
bar.
Yeah.
High bar.
She's
I'm the
competing
hot
with
girl
Doug.
of the group, everyone.
That's why her and Doug are best
Okay,
friends.
alright.
Yes.
Okay, my character's Naga. He's a dragon soul sorcerer, dragonborn,
Mm-hmm.
bronze. Bronze with green accents. Beautiful, just male, 6 foot, just rippling. No, he doesn't.
No, he's
He's
not
kind of
rippling.
scrawny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you describing yourself?
No, he's describing his character.
Yeah, it looks like walks around as a scrawny person should, kind of hunched. Very angry at most things.
Yep.
He's kind of honoring.
He's salty because he was a sailor, so it's just literally seeped into his blood.
Yeah.
He feels like everything is trying to kill him, and he hasn't been proven wrong yet.
No, he has not.
Even by his friends and all these friendly people who are helping him as he's gone in his travels. He's made so many friends.
Yeah.
Who?
This is Crooknut.
Oh,
Don't worry, we'll fill y'all in.
You'll
on what's
see.
going on.
You'll
Well,
see,
buddy.
because
Yeah.
just so you know, we are. This is session 10 today.
Wow.
Is
It's our
it?
anniversary.
It's our 10th session
It's
anniversary.
not an anniversary.
It's-
It's
well,
just
it's-
10 sessions,
well,
so
it's-
you can't just make everything.
I believe it's 10 or it might be 11, but I believe it is 10.
See?
So
You
so
don't
session
know.
1. So session 1. Armin and Doug enter the port of Baldair together because Doug was the cook on the caravan, and Armin was just
I'm
you're just
kind of
traveling
trying to find my
answers or something.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
looking for answers to an issue that I have
Okay.
that plagues me.
Okay, and then Naga decided to actually
Get
venture.
off the boat
Yep,
for once.
for once, and he went within the port of Baldair, and everyone met. Do you guys remember the inn you guys met at?
I don't remember the name of it.
You don't remember the name?
I feel like I should.
I have it in my notes.
You probably should.
I have it.
Do you remember what it is?
Yep, I have it written down.
Well, he made the world.
I have a lot of
It's like-
things to
But
remember.
he has to
okay.
look it up.
Okay. No, other one. It's in the other notes.
Chris
Are you
is the
gonna
only
remember?
one that takes notes.
He's the only one that takes notes or actually knows about the characters or the
Chris already
stats.
knows.
So
because
he's
Armin would not care, so I'm sticking true to my character.
see, I've got
Right.
my
It's called method
I
acting.
like character flaws that like happen
So
for real world
They work out
consequences.
good. Yeah.
yeah.
Doug would
Okay,
basically
alright.
remember the food and the
Okay.
ale.
Yeah. A lot of ale.
Yes.
Because I have it if you need
And
it.
any of the traumatizing things that happened there.
Nope.
You don't have it?
We
I don't think you started taking notes till after the first session.
Yeah.
when
It was
you
the
realized
stowaway inn.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah, I get that one.
Stow-
And if you
Okay.
remember, the innkeeper was Sven
Sven.
Hagwiggle. That very short gnome with the massive
Yes.
sideburns. And he's really portly. He was so portly his thighs were like rubbing in the front.
Oh.
Kind of going.
All right.
And
Real
then,
man's man.
yep. That's where you guys met. Kind of in passing. And then after that, the next day, you guys, Naga decided to go to Pages. He met interesting bookstore owner. Then you guys went to Obscura. You met one of my
Yeah.
personal favorite.
Edgar.
Oh,
people.
no, we need to talk about the bookstore really quick. Isn't that where Doug got his
Yeah, we can go back.
his,
Yeah.
his
So
romance
Okay, so-
novel?
Yeah.
So-
Yes.
they entered Pages, which was an odd building in the first place, just kind of rickety. But when you entered, it looks like it was held together by the books, and aisles upon aisles of books. And you keep going, and you look at all of them. What kind of books were in there, Doug?
Well, there were all kinds of books, and then weren't they looking at books too?
Armin
was looking
and
for a
came-
specific book.
Came for a book to find information about hags,
Yep.
and surprisingly, no one wants to talk about hags in
I
this
don't know
world.
why.
So she didn't have any luck.
Nope.
Right, and so Doug was perusing. No, the bookkeeper described the person that owned the store. That was an interesting character.
Okay.
Because it was a lady, right?
Yep. Her
And
name was
she's
Sylvia.
The one
She has
that
massive
showed him the books.
curly red hair and thick glasses, and she has a thing for romance novels, so much so that all the books in her store are pretty much romance novels.
Yes. And so Doug
Naga left early.
decided to
Yes, he
buy a romance novel
Yep.
to read in his spare time.
Do you remember what book it was?
No, I don't.
It was Sylvan Love.
Sylvan Love, yes. So it's about an
Yes.
elf and a half
And a
elf
human.
and a human. Yes, an elf and a human. Yes.
Risky.
You really don't pay attention to what you're reading, do you?
Doug's just
Doug
there for
does.
the romance.
Doug does, okay?
Doug is
Just the
Doug.
romance.
Doug
Yeah.
remembers.
Okay. All right.
He just doesn't remind me sometimes.
Okay. So you guys went to Pages. You went
To
Uh,
obscure.
to Obscura
Mhm.
because you felt like it.
Yes. And so at Obscura, Naga had a really good time.
Made a friend.
Made a
Yeah.
friend.
Well,
Business associate.
yeah. Who was that friend you made?
Edgar.
Yeah.
Edgar, the slightly eccentric blue.
Blue.
Isn't he
No,
blue?
he wasn't.
No.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you said
Picture him
the
like
show with the
What's
side.
the spice
No.
Okay.
You showed
Edgar.
me Edgar was blue.
Nope.
Nope,
Edgar's
that's-
not
Edgar's
blue.
not
That's
blue.
All right. Well, I guess I get to.
continuity error.
They don't
It's
remember
continuity
anything.
error.
That was so long ago. That was like October.
Yes, it was October.
I thought he's
That was
blue
like
and
a
has black
solid
hair and he kind of has the
months
like the
ago.
hairstyle that like curls up and it's like one ponytail but it's cool. It's like
How
more
about
No, I
Celtic.
feel like
It's like
Yeah,
Celtic.
How about I was working on? I can explain it. You have a tall, slender, elven man with very long, pointed ears. His skin is a very light complected, looking like
Blue.
no, on the verge of almost being white. But his eyes, the white part is actually black, and where the color is, it's just like a slightly reflective blue color. there's where the blue was. It kind of like a fish scale.
The only thing I remembered, so I
Yep.
attributed to everything.
And the sides of his head are shaved here, but the rest is in a very tight black ponytail. And he has a different cadence than most people.
And then he has like a little thingy that's there.
Yep, he has a homunculus, his
Yeah.
little buddy that helps him. But Obscura, the shop
His name is
itself,
Steve.
no, it's not.
No.
Steve.
Nope,
No.
the homunculus is not named Steve.
It doesn't have a name, so I named him Steve.
He named it
Naga
Steve. It's
named
not-
him.
Naga
Steve.
calls him Steve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, when you enter Obscura, you're kind of that feeling when you go up and then down a hill really fast kind of hits you because this kind of small building turns into a huge space, very similar to like a pawn shop or just an oddity, kind of like a
They have oddity stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oddities. You've got all kinds of manner of different things on everywhere, stacked up high, precariously, looking like they're gonna fall,
Mm-hmm.
but they just keep staying up there. Yeah.
Doug declined to buy a tea set that had a hole in it.
It didn't have a hole in it.
What was it? Was broken,
It had one teacup that went with it.
but it was broken, wasn't it?
No, that's
I don't know.
the only thing wrong with it. It just had one teacup to match the set. If you poured water in it, it would come out hot, ready to steep in your tea. And you tried it, and you just kept being mean to Edgar.
That's
I
all
was
it does.
not being mean to Edgar. It was a terrible deal.
Edgar.
It was a terrible deal.
I think you told him that.
Yes, I did. So apparently Edgar doesn't like Doug either, but I think that's his problem.
It's another one. We need like a tally.
Okay,
Somebody make like an
so-
overlay of the tally. Like,
The
people who don't like Doug.
Oh my gosh.
One.
Everyone likes Doug.
Really?
It's not Edgar.
Okay. After that, they went. There's actually the Harvest Festival was going on, so some of them played some games. Doug
yeah, we
did
played
the
cards.
pie eating competition,
Yes.
and he did win, and so he did.
Dominated.
He actually did quite well.
Yeah.
So a halfling definitely in an eating competition has.
Advantage.
Yeah, because actually, a little known fact, but most halflings actually eat the amount of a normal-sized adult person.
But they're
Being
half the size.
You know what you call a tall halfling?
No, a human?
No. Three-quarter length. Okay.
He's a dad.
A
He's a dad.
three-quarterling, in case
Yeah.
if you didn't
He's a
hear
dad.
that.
It's okay.
Yes, I am a dad. Okay, so after the pie eating competition, that was for speed. Then there was another pie eating competition for quantity, and there was different individuals there, and a dwarf won. He was covered. He was covered in cherry and chocolate pie because they just kept giving him different pies. But he started to retch, and he just
Yeah.
purged himself. But his purge began to melt him from the inside out, and he was no more. Lo and behold, there was a strawberry ooze starting running amok. These guys were like, "Oh no, Doug was eating a turkey leg." They're like, "Oh, that's wrong. That's it's disgusting."
Doug enjoyed the turkey leg.
He did, and then washing it down with his ale. So, but then
Well, panic breaks out
Yep.
everywhere.
and another person randomly starts vomiting up and melting into another ooze, and a guard starts. He pops something in his mouth, grabs for his sword, and he's like, "Ah!" And he melts into a gelatinous cube. And then what happened, everybody?
And then we attacked. From my memories of the attack, I know Doug threw a lot of hatchets and then ran
I think
and
it was the
got
same
hatchet.
hatchet
Yeah, he threw one
multiple
hatchet
times
and
over
then
the stage,
ran and got it, and
Yes,
then
ma'am.
threw the hatchet again.
and it went
Yes.
back over the stage. And then
Um,
one went into the gelatinous cube at some point.
Yeah, later on.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
And it stayed. Well, because,
You
I
decided to have a
know.
hand-to-hand combat.
Yes, so
with a
Armin
gelatinous
decided to cast Shocking Grasp
which is a touch spell.
and run up and smack one
on
of
a
the cubes.
on an acidic ooze.
I smacked the cube.
And needless to say, she was starting to get engulfed,
Jello.
and she was getting lashed by one of the oozes.
So,
And one of the street performers bounded up and slid and smacked her tush and healed her. This is where you get introduced to Xenon, a 5'9" satyr with a very nice vest at all times and a pretty cheery disposition. Continue.
yeah. Because right before then, Armin was about dead.
Yes.
She had gotten
Another
hit
counter.
on the back.
Start another counter.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many times does Armin almost die? This is number 1.
One.
And
Is there another one?
what did I do? Chaos Bolt?
Yeah.
Yep, you did
Yep.
Chaos Bolt, and then
Yeah, I hit it with Chaos Bolt. I
Yeah.
did the final. It got frozen, and then I exploded it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
And then
Naga froze the cube.
It's with what? Frost Ray?
Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then
Slowing an already slow ooze.
I hit it again with the Chaos Bolt, and it exploded everywhere.
Yep. And then the
T-1000 style.
yep. And then the
Yes.
other oozes were dispatched. There was another guard that was hacking at the cube, and there was a woman that got engulfed by the cube. They didn't save her.
She didn't make it.
No.
And do you remember what you saw out of the corner of your eye that whole
So
time?
morbid.
Oh, what?
That little girl screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said saw.
What?
A heard out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah, I'm really good at description.
It's like, but I didn't see anything.
All I did was hear.
I saw Steve swooping in at the end of the battle, taking the sword that I was gonna trade.
And then,
The homunculus
You're-
for Baker.
I got my...
His name's Steve.
Got stuck inside.
Right, so my axe head had gotten stuck inside of the gelatinous cube.
Yep. So you
So,
retrieved the axe head.
I
The
got the
handle.
axe
The
head.
the handle had been
Dissolved.
No critical fails yet. That
No.
did happen later, though. So, at the end of this, that's when they're called the Scion and the Silver Saber came. They are the guards of the port of Balder, and the Silver Saber is the higher up, kind of like the lieutenant, as you put it. And he came flying in and landed, and all you just saw was the people were scattered. The only ones there were this group of 4: a satyr, a halfling, half elf, and a dragonborn. And so they got brought in for questioning, and this is where our second session started.
Yes.
Yes.
So you got brought to the hub, which is actually in the Port of Balder. It actually kind of looks like a large crater happened, or something similar to that. So you've got a large body of water, and in the center is called the hub, and it actually is a floating part of the city with anchoring points. And once you get ferried onto the hub, that strange feeling happens again from going up and down, and the small hub is like a huge city in itself. You see ships that shouldn't fit in the area being there.
I just like nodding our heads. Uh-huh. Yes, that's what happened.
Okay. So, you got brought to the main barracks of the Scion, and the Silver Saber started questioning, like, what happened. You explained that. They also brought in the baker, and there was a traveling candy maker who had a little shop. They were really wondering what was going on. The guards themselves couldn't be tasked with finding out what was going on because of just the mass hysteria. It was a harvest festival, so they wanted to keep this going to make everyone feel comfortable. So he tasked them with figuring out what happened. So they asked the baker, they asked the candy maker, and then we
kind of figured out we're trying to figure out, okay, I'm not sure. We knew it was something that they were eating, right?
Yeah.
Or we had an idea.
Right.
that
because
this-
everyone melted.
Yeah, and so we were trying to figure out, okay, who's all these vendors for this harvest festival, and we found out that there is another candy shop, called Auntie's, right?
Mhm.
Called Auntie's,
Mhm.
and that was kind of what we decided. We couldn't really get any good information from anyone else, so we decided that, okay, maybe we should check this out. And I think we made the Silver Saber mad at us. I think
I
Armin
made
did.
a long-lasting friend.
Yeah.
Did
One of us
was
kind of
this
ticked
when
him
Doug
off.
had made him mad, or was it after that?
Basically, any conversation with Doug and
Hey, just
another
so
person,
you know, Armin and
they're
Doug are
usually
really good
mad at the
friends,
end.
Okay.
That's true.
Well, I'll describe the Silver Saber so you know what he looks like. A very tall gentleman with silvery hair and a curly-Q mustache, and like I don't even know what this is called.
Like
Goatee?
a goat.
I guess like a goatee, but like a goat, but
Fu Manchu?
I guess a Fu Manchu, like in
Well,
the style
this
of the
is
three,
a soul patch.
like the Three Musketeers style. Like I think
Oh,
of
Not
that,
the whole
long one.
hole.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, like
okay,
that.
all right.
but and his hair is like immaculate. Even it just, and he has rings on all of his fingers,
Does he have a
bracelets.
mustache?
Yes, curly-Q mustache, white, like silvery.
Oh, so
The
yeah,
bad
like a
swordsman
Three
and the
Musketeer.
Princess Bride, his setup.
No,
No, I know it doesn't.
The
Yeah,
bat.
but I know.
I always think of like
No,
Three
because he has a
Musketeers.
full-on beard.
Yeah.
The Six-Fingered Man.
Yeah, he has a full-on
He has
beard.
a full beard.
Yeah, so this is.
But
this
it's
is-
like different colors. That's why you think it might.
Yeah,
It's like different shades.
Oh.
it's possible. it is.
Okay. Anyways.
And his
Princess Bride reference.
yes, and he always has a saber that the hilt and everything looks like it's straight up made out of silver. Okay, so the following morning is when you set out to go
Do our
to Auntie.
interrogation.
of Auntie.
Well, we kind of tried to come up with a plan. Armin and Naga,
No.
Armin
Nope.
and Doug.
Yes.
Armin tried to come up with
Yes,
a plan.
Armin-
Let's just say that.
Yeah. I think we had trouble coming up with the plan.
We
to be
did.
honest.
Armin had a plan in her. In
Honestly,
mind.
this session is where I wanted to start streaming.
The plan
Because
was
it was so entertaining that they were like, we should do this. And the scales and the gears and the smoke coming all out of their ears was fantastic.
Naga had none of it.
No.
He just.
Naga kind of left us
He-
hanging. To be honest.
I shoved a midget through a window.
We're
We're talking about Doug right now. Okay. Armin, are you gonna tell him what we?
What?
Armin,
You can't say that. Okay, all right.
Not yet.
Short person.
The halfling.
Whatever.
No.
Halfling,
Anyways,
halfling, okay,
The halflings.
so we decided to go visit Auntie's, and Armin's plan was to pretend that she was a bride-to-be with her fiance Xenon, because he
the satyr.
volunteered.
No, he actually didn't.
He
you,
didn't volunteer?
No, you
No.
volunteered him, and he
This
He
is
got
all
voluntold.
This is
He was-
all Armin's plan.
Yep, he was very surprised. He was like, "Oh, okay." And
He
he,
was
that's-
willing. He was very willing.
yep, he was
And-
very willing.
It's because you gave him a signal. That's why he likes you so much.
Yeah, Armin may have let him on a little bit. So they go into this candy shop, and Doug and
just-
Naga stayed outside.
Yep.
No.
No, okay. So no, Doug decides to go around back,
Yep.
and then
I followed Doug
Naga follows Doug, and then Doug asks
for a,
Naga to boost
a
for
good
a
old
boost
fashioned B&E. Yeah.
to go through the window.
And all they know of this candy maker is that
She's
she's
a
a
old-
really nice old lady that sells
Yes.
candy.
But we're looking for something because obviously
So just break in.
So-
That's smart.
I was
Good
going
idea.
to. Doug was going to go in the back and see if he could find anything, fishy
Yeah.
or, something that
Fishy at a
it
harbor.
could be her that
And
did
Naga
something.
sat out front whittling a stick with his claws. That's all that
Yeah,
happened.
so then Naga just threw me through the window and I was in there.
In a
all
pitch
alone.
black room.
In a pitch black room.
Because you don't have dark vision.
Nope.
Because Doug doesn't have dark vision, and so I think he had to hide, didn't he?
You heard, you want to
Well,
describe what was happening to you
so
guys?
we go into this candy shop,
Yep.
and Auntie is in there, and she's a little old lady. that's not fooling Armin. She doesn't trust anyone. And
Not even herself.
no. And Auntie keeps offering candy. Oh, would you like some candy, dear? And we're like, no, none of that. Kind of try to do some like interrogating, and then we hear a little bit of racket in the back,
Like, someone falling through a window.
and that catches Auntie's attention. So of course, we're trying to be like, oh, look over here. What's this? Sort of thing to kind of distract her. Doesn't really work. She kind of starts. She excuses herself.
She actually calls her little helper.
Yeah, she did.
Looked like a gnome.
Wait,
There was.
He looked like a gnome at that
is this
point.
when she
No.
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet. Okay. Sorry.
Not
I'm
yet.
trying to remember.
Not yet.
Okay.
It's not that part of
That's
the
why I
story.
whispered it.
We're telling them, so it's all new.
Sorry.
So her helper looked like a gnome, shaggy hair. He was sitting just eating a bowl of black licorice because he does that. He set it down when he heard the noise and he started going back. And then,
Doug hides underneath like a like behind a little curtain thing.
like under a little curtain,
But what does he find in there? Doesn't he find something?
He feels something
he
first.
feels wetness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wet curtains. Everybody's got them.
I'm pretty sure. Only in the shower. But wasn't it like blood?
Yeah.
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 So when
Something was up.
when the gnome helper came back with a candle,
But he didn't look like a.
nope, he didn't look like a gnome.
No
he
more.
looked like a.
No.
I mean, you go and describe it because I
Oh,
don't
you go.
remember.
We're so professional.
Your turn.
He looked like a goblin with a purple pointed hat, and with a big chunk of his long ears missing.
Yeah, Doug was scared.
And the light he was actually using was the staff that the light was showing out of the eyes. And so what Doug was actually hiding under was a strange dress that just kept dripping blood.
So gross. Anyways, so then doesn't he find him, the goblin?
Yep, and then you say something, and then a large spectral hand grabs you,
Yes.
Mr. Bigby's, and you start hovering,
Wow.
getting carried out.
I got caught.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our plan didn't
Yeah.
plan out very well.
No, we got
Breaking and
bamboozled.
entering always works out. Yep.
Sometimes it does. Depends
Yep.
on how you roll.
Yeah.
I didn't roll well.
It wasn't a natural one, but it was very close. And then, so once they come from back, the shutters shut, the door bars itself, and you see Auntie for who she really is.
It got scary, guys.
Yeah.
It got real scary.
You see what must be 8, possibly a 9-foot individual that's crunched over a beautiful, to me, green hag.
We weren't expecting that.
Armin hates hags, by the way, with a passion. She hates hags.
And she doesn't know why.
No. But she knows she hates them.
Think she
That's the definition of racism.
does. Yep. Racism.
Not
We
knowing.
cover everything. in this game.
Armin's a little racist against hags.
All right. So what? Then, needless to say, Doug starts mouthing off to Auntie, gets thrown out the door.
Did
Yeah.
I mouth off to her?
Not yet.
Not yet, but Armin
Armin.
It starts with the mouth and all.
Yeah.
and Xenon's like,
And then
oh,
you
I don't want to
continue.
say anything. Nope. I'm so sorry we entered your shop.
Well,
I'll buy
she
some.
starts saying all this. Oh, I can offer you a deal.
Mhm. Not-
I just need some of your blood.
Yep.
And so I offered her a deal that, hey, you can let everyone go and I won't kill you. That was my deal, which
Yeah,
I thought
it's
was generous.
It's a great deal.
And I said that to her, and apparently she didn't like that I said that to
Yeah.
her.
See, then she grabbed a rat that was on her shoulder, pet it, snapped its neck, threw it down, and said, "Meet me in the swamp." and she disappeared, and so did her little friend, and the rat turned into an ogre.
Didn't I critical fail on looking through the window
Well,
to
Yes,
see
you
what
did.
was happening?
You did.
Yeah.
I sent
Yeah.
I sent him message
Yeah. You
saying there's a hag in here
Yep.
and
So Naga, not liking the people that he's with already,
Yep.
like thinking that she's probably just a mean racist anyway, like looks in and sees what the hag is, but to him was just a nice, kindly little old lady trying to give them candy, and she was all just being herself. And I was like, okay, whatever. So Naga sits back down and keeps on whittling on his stick.
Yep.
Nothing's going on
right.
until
he sees Doug thrown out, right?
Skip-
Thrown out the door,
skipping on his butt.
and you're just like,
Doug survived. He was
You
a
took-
little bruised, but
you took
Yeah.
definitely some
Road rash.
and ego damage.
Mhm.
it's okay.
And then, so the shop itself just changes into a strange shack. The roof breaks off because the ogre grew, and Xenon, it's like, "Ah!"
So the ogre, did he hit me or Xenon first?
He backhanded you.
He hit me,
Into the bookshelf.
threw me against the wall. I almost died again.
Yeah, I have a tally.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Then
Number 2, y'all.
he hit Xenon, threw him against the wall, and almost killed Xenon too.
But Xenon went through the wall
Yeah.
and then landed in the street. Because the reason he went through the wall is he went head first. He has horns, so he was a projectile.
And so at this moment, Armin knew that she was about to die.
Yes.
So she knew the only way they were going to get out of this situation was some creative thinking.
Yeah.
So Armin casts Minor Illusion,
Yep.
and she uses the hag's voice
Yep.
to tell the ogre, "Come back to the swamp. I need you." And so, yeah.
And so they hear, and he just starts walking away. They're not
Yeah.
very intelligent. It's not
So we didn't chase after the troll.
the ogre. No,
I mean
you
the
didn't.
ogre.
No,
Mm-mm.
you guys actually, Doug and
I started running for guards.
They started running for guards.
Yeah.
They did reach them, and then as they were leaving, they saw a guy just eating, looked like jelly beans, and he's like, "Ah!" And a green arm shot from his stomach, and grabbed his face, and then scraped down as it was pulling itself out. It was like a baby troll body and a giant arm, and the thing was like, it started attacking, and Xenon was too close, and so was
So
Armin.
with Armin, yeah, we were trying to fight it. Actually, it was a scarecrow that got me.
Mhm. But
Yeah.
it was the troll that got
Xenon.
Xenon because it swiped, and it really got him bad, and he had to hold himself, but he kept Armin alive. He kept, "Oh,
Yeah.
don't die."
Then Naga came in to save the day.
Yep.
Yep. Ray of Frost troll, and then lightning breath to the scarecrow up in flames.
Yep.
Yep.
It was.
That's what happens. Yep.
Don't mean to brag,
And-
Yeah,
but
no, I'm
And
awesome.
and
That's-
Doug, I don't think Doug wasn't even back yet from
Nope.
being trying to get the guards.
No, he's got
Yeah.
little short legs.
Yeah.
he could only go so far.
Yep. And so that was the end of session 2.
0 points of damage.
Yep.
Naga has taken no damage yet.
Died almost 3
Oh
times.
yeah, that's true.
Yep. So then they had another meeting with the Silver Saber in session 3.
He was very happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
He,
Yes,
he
very
was just-
happy.
Yep.
Wait, was that sarcastic?
Yes,
Yes.
that was.
He wasn't happy.
Yeah.
No,
This
he
is
wasn't.
this is where Doug
For those
really.
that don't pick up on sarcasm,
Making more friends, Doug
because
is.
I almost didn't pick up on.
Yeah, because what the Silver Saber did is he gave them money for saving the day for the Harvest Festival the day prior, and he's just like, you agitated that green hag, and you found out her name was.
Auntie.
All together. Auntie.
Yeah.
Auntie.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Auntie. Wait, it was
Agnes.
still- Agnes.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't remember that.
For those who are dungeon masters, you understand.
Well, we're racist against hags. That's
And
what
so we
are.
just
Her name's Auntie.
They all
and-
look the same. They all call Dante. That's what it is.
And so what you saw, they saw recognition in the Silver Saber's eyes that he's like, you agitated Auntie, Miss Agnes.
Just a little bit.
So
Got
he,
him saying Auntie.
because that's what she called herself. But I was saying if you remembered her name, and you guys didn't.
I feel like
thought-
you always call her auntie too.
I usually do, but I did say her name multiple times. It's okay. So he actually kind of says, yeah, go find out and see if you can make sure for her not to do this stuff to the Harvest Festival anymore. And so what you guys do is Xenon is still beaten up. Speaking of which, we use a lot of homebrew rules from Dungeon Coach. Thank you, by the way, for fantastic work. So you don't get totally healed up from sleeping. You actually have to use your hit dice. And at the end of your long rest, you get your spells and half your hit dice back. So your hit dice actually matter. So Xenon is still pretty beaten up. Like he's used magic to kind of heal up some stuff, but he's still beaten up. They go to a herbs and powders, which is like an herbalist, and he gets some bug repellent because he doesn't like bugs going to a swamp.
From Udak.
Yep, Udak, and he's a long-haired male with a bunch of white face paint and a whole bunch just paste jammed into his mustache because it's a very strange-smelling apothecary. And he actually hires the group to kind of guard his cart going to and from Havel, which is near the swamp. And he says you guys should go meet McGregor. He's my the leader of my cart, who I usually send, but he definitely needs some help. And so they went to the Galley, which is kind of a shady tavern. And
Drugs.
shady tavern.
Drugs. Yeah.
Yeah. And they meet McGregor along with the bosun. And then
Doug makes more friends.
Doug makes lots of friends.
Everywhere we go.
Yes. yeah.
Everywhere. Wait, are we getting the axe handle now?
No, that was after.
Oh, okay.
That was
Yeah.
then after we get the mission, and then you almost get us killed by Mundark, because he gets angry, and then Ghost was like, no,
Yep.
because he was gonna just like hack you in half.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Doug only remembers the good parts.
It's
Wow. Well, they meet the bosun. Bosun is a half elf, half human, half sea elf, with very long hair, with the little kind of frilly looking ears. Being a sea elf. And he's blue.
See?
That's the one.
See?
And he is blue.
I
And he's
was
got.
right.
And you can definitely tell he's got lots of tattoos underneath his high collared shirt. Let's see. I'm trying to. I don't want to tell them. They don't need to know every little detail. So Naga negotiates, and he gets a Warcaster's.
Yeah. Ruby of the War Mage?
Yep, Ruby of the War Mage, and
We're talking about all the stuff we got before we went on
no, so you got a Ruby of the War Mage. Then you guys left there. You went to the big anvil, and you distracted the blacksmith. They were hearing large clanging and banging, and you heard strange apparatuses slamming down, and then you heard and smoke blew out of there, and you see a gnome with his goggles, and he lifts it up, and you can see his black eyes with perfect outline of his goggles. What do you want? They do buy something from him, but he was still a little agitated. He remakes Doug's hand axes, gives it new handles. There's no bonuses to them, but they just look better. Because one of the heads is acid etched because it was in a gelatinous cube.
Yep.
Yep.
To the haberdashery.
Yep, to get new clothes for
Yeah.
Armin, who got hers pretty much thrashed from acid
Yeah.
And then Xenon
scarecrow.
got
Got
something
It's
too.
a nice vest.
and
that
a
they
new
had.
vest because his other one was messed up.
Yeah.
They almost die all
Yep.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the Death Squad.
Except like the opposite of the cool thing that you're thinking of right now.
Yeah.
Because Death Squad sounds cool. Like I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Theirs
Then
isn't cool.
they also go to the armorer.
Yep.
You actually get a cool repeating hand crossbow that has a shield in the front. Then I believe you guys head out
Well, we stay
another night,
one more night and we head out in the morning.
and then you think
We
you
have
got
No,
we
we
have
try-
dreams that
yeah.
night.
No, you tried to interrogate Udok
yeah that evening
down at
before
the
you.
At
was
the
it
bar.
the
Salties.
Yeah, Salties. Yeah.
The really like sketchy, gross bar.
Did I?
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
you
remember?
did.
Yeah.
You actually.
Because
Because we were
wanted-
gonna kidnap him,
We were
and
gonna
I
get
told
him
you no.
drunk.
And
Remember?
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
And then
That's
questioned
right.
him.
They had this awesome plan.
Don't group me into this. Don't group me.
Armin.
They.
Armin and Doug had this awesome plan that they wanted to interrogate Udok because while they were in Herbs and Powders, Udok overheard and said, "Oh yeah, Auntie's a great individual. She helped my cousin." So
And so Armin was like, "Don't trust that,"
Racism.
and decided we need to find out some more information.
Mhm.
So we come up with a plan to take him to the tavern and get him drunk, and maybe he'll talk a little bit.
but then also you're
And
like,
maybe share, because we were trying to find out why they think Auntie is so nice,
Yeah.
or like why they think that she's good, because she wasn't very nice,
No.
and
Yeah.
she was scary, and we don't get why people think she's nice.
Yeah.
So that's the mystery that
they're trying to
is-
figure out.
that we're trying to figure out.
Yep. So
And this person just employed us.
yeah.
Gave us a job. First idea. Drug him, basically.
What?
You wanted to get him drunk and then
just-
kidnap him, interrogate him.
No.
We were not going to kidnap one.
That was just another idea.
That was a
Armin
plan.
Yeah,
had.
another idea of Armin's. She was just like, or we could tie him up and torture him. You actually
Well-
said that.
Armin wasn't fully serious. She was just feeling,
Just
throwing something out there, just
brainstorming.
Yeah.
brainstorming.
Shooting the breeze.
Brainstorming.
Yeah.
Well, what they found
Normal
out
ideas.
is Auntie actually cured one of his relatives of a bad health condition.
Wait,
and-
did we actually find that out?
Yep, he said that, and you found out that Udok is a single dad with 2 children
Yep.
that Armin wanted to torture.
Still. Through
Yeah.
most of the conversation.
Yeah, yeah. And then
We couldn't get him drunk. We were
Yeah.
rolling
Oh.
pretty bad.
and Xenon this was that same day that Xenon had gotten injured from the troll and everything. So he actually passed out. A satyr passed out from drinking normal ale. He rolled a natural 1. More than once. On a constitution save.
Yep.
First thing.
Oh well.
Perfect.
Yeah. So they found out that some of them were starting to question what's going on with this hag, and they go back to the inn, and then some of them have dreams.
Armin has a dream. And in the dream, she dreams of the people that had like the gelatinous jello cube come out of them and that stuff. And one of them was a guard, and basically this guard was like not a very good person. He was like torturing people, which is bad, and Armin knows that.
Yeah. The if you recall, the dwarf was actually
Armin knows that.
was kind of like a kind of like a slaver.
Right.
The woman that got eaten was the one that would find the individuals, go there. The guard was hired to usually be placed so they could actually capture the individuals. That guy that actually had the troll come out of him, he was a pretty bad thief. And
Yeah, so normally you would think that, oh, Armin would be like, this is a good person. Well, she still is a little prejudiced against hags, so she's kind of like, nah, I'm still not going to like this hag. So.
yeah, and you had a dream too.
Yes. A dream of my homeland and dead relatives and mystic images over water. Vague.
I think Doug just dreamed about Beard.
And you
Swimming in beer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He slept real good then.
Yep. And yep. Let's see. Then the next morning, you guys got up early. You met at Udak's Herbs and Powders, and you headed out with McGregor. You also had Mundark, which is a very large gray minotaur, and Kugruk, which is a half ogre. And both of them were hiding in the backs of the carts. They headed out and on their 10-day journey.
Did you ever explain, like, kind of partially why we took this job too? Because we were going to this. Well,
Yeah.
that, but it's also in the swamp.
Yeah.
Did you mention that?
I believe so, but if they
I think
didn't
so.
catch it, but
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
did we?
because
Okay.
Udak
Because
overheard
we
you're
had
going to the
heard
swamp.
earlier that
You're supposed to go to the swamp.
Auntie said for
Meet me in the
Ogre
swamp.
to meet
Yeah.
her in the swamp, and so we're going there also because it's in the swamp.
Yep.
And some
Two
people
words,
want to
one
find
sound.
out stuff about this auntie lady, or do a deal, something of that
Yeah.
sort.
Just in it for the shiny stuff.
Yep.
And then he's just in it for the money.
Yep. So the first few days, not much really happens. But then they see on the horizon a very slow-moving storm, and it doesn't hit them to the next day. And they see lightning hitting in a single place again and again and again. And Naga wants to go see what's going on.
Because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
pretty, and as a bronze dragon, ain't afraid of no ghost. Or lightning, either one. Interchange ghost with lightning.
You really shouldn't. You shouldn't. They're very different
Lightning
things.
ghost.
Is that
Excuse
the
me, I
thing?
have to make a note.
Yes.
The lightning ghost.
All printed.
Lightning ghost. Oh, don't mind me.
Isn't that thunder? Would that just be thunder?
What are you talking
A
about?
lightning.
A lightning ghost, would it just be thunder?
Yes.
Okay, so what?
Okay, so I go out looking at lightning striking at the same point.
After they made
Because
camp,
everybody says that doesn't happen. Oh, and Xenon falling on his face multiple times trying to
make his tent.
Yeah.
he couldn't make this.
I was just-
I was helping in my perfectly made tent with my magical hand of awesomeness.
Yeah. His mage hand. And so Xenon was so you cut little trenches around your tent to make sure that you don't get flooded out. Well, Xenon kept slipping and he was just covered in mud, so he had to.
Right, and then he went into Armin's tent, didn't he?
Yeah, that night, yes, he did.
Yeah, he spent the night in Armin's tent.
Yeah, she invited him to stay on his side. I don't remember why she wanted something from him.
Well, because he actually paid for most of your stuff.
So you're
He did. He
You're
bought.
yeah.
He bought like everything for me.
Yeah.
Because Armin didn't have any money,
Oh.
and so
And I gave you the Ruby of the War Mage so you could cast through your bow.
Yep.
yes,
Yep. So, yeah, she takes care of herself. She's an independent
I
woman.
let him share half of the tin.
And you had
So
your knife out the
she's
whole
a
time.
And I did. Yes.
Yep. And then, so Naga talks Kugruk into going with him. So Kugruk has this big battle axe and going with him. You just keep seeing
They're for
lightning.
moral support.
Yeah.
So as we approach this mound of raggedy rocks and jagged sticks, and because I'm looking for Lemanian oak,
Hmm?
which is lightning capable. +1.
Metagamer.
Metagame. I break everything. I know. I see dancing lightning, but it's more of a creature hopping from rock to rock, but seems to be stuck around a central point, which is just a stick, like this, sticking up out of the ground. Yes.
This has got to be a thing now.
Yeah.
Just comes out of nowhere.
My staff of power.
Okay, keep going.
Don't know what to do with my hands.
It does it on its own. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Continue.
So basically, I mean, I have almost a dance battle running from rock to rock
Yeah.
from this.
Playing
Lightning
football.
creature.
The rest
Lightning
of us were
creature.
still at camp.
Yeah, you guys
We
were
went
you were
over-
sleeping.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
out of it.
And then, like, didn't they hear?
Yep.
And realized that we were both gone.
Yep. So McGregor started heading that way.
But by then,
He'd already taken
I
care.
grabbed the stick out of the stone and raised it, and then lightning came down.
No, you
and-
you actually
Fire in the background.
no.
Explosions.
Like
He
guy
pulled
playing
the
with
dry tree out of the ground, so it had a root system, and he pointed the roots at it, and the lightning creature went into it, and it's in there.
Interesting.
explosion cue music.
What did you name it?
Sparky. He's a friend too.
Friend to Minnie.
Yep. I have friends.
It's got
And
friends.
then Kroger, he was very impressed. Everybody was by my lightning battle
No
skills.
one was surprised.
Yeah. And then we continued on. Didn't we
Back
look up
to
in the
camp.
sky and see anything?
Oh yeah. we
You did.
Yep.
You,
Yes. I
Prior
did.
prior to that large lightning creature landing, you saw something in the sky.
Yeah, I saw. It was like giants fighting.
Yep, a giant fighting with like a giant serpent, and you just heard
Yes.
a
So that's what the storm was.
Yep. It's kind of like maybe a storm giant or something.
Something.
awesome album cover is what it is.
That's pretty or a
Yeah.
great painting for the side of a van. I should do that to the van. But then they continue on and they come to the beginning of a kind of like a canyon. And the night before, they had seen is like
The purple beady eyes.
yep, from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of scoping them out, and so for some reason we wanted to scope out the
Yep.
canyon. So Armin sends Bird to go check it out,
She sends a bird she can't communicate with.
and
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Bird actually comes back.
Screaming, "Idiot!
Idiot!
Idiot!"
Idiot! So that Armin knows, because she's so in tune with Bird, that means that there's probably danger ahead.
Idiot!
Turn around.
So
And
then
we
you
tried to make a plan.
Then you actually sneak up and actually see what's going on.
yeah, we did. It was me and McGregor, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we snuck up over this rock
Ridge.
Yeah.
bridge,
and you
and
messaged back from on top of the
we
the
saw.
ridge.
Yeah, we saw that there is a barricade in this canyon, and you'll have to describe who all was there. 'Cause I can't remember.
goblins
it's-
and bugbears.
Yep. A bunch of goblins and bugbears and very large-looking wolf-like creatures known as wargs, just waiting.
And some of the goblins were on the wards, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then there was two goblins.
Bugbears.
Oh, there was
Across.
two bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's two
Oh no,
goblins.
across
Yep.
the ravine.
Yep. On the top, on the one side, up there, but they really weren't paying much attention.
No.
That's why they didn't see McGregor or Armin, who rolled very well. So, which is healthy. So, then they started to come up with a plan.
Yes.
Yes, tried to. And as we were getting the plan ready, and we were going to sneak around invisible, and then a barbarian in our party, a Minotaur.
Mundark.
Mundark, yes, he's a great friend too.
Mundark the Minotaur.
Yeah, he don't pity no fool. So their barricade,
He was
But-
invisible when this happened.
yes, he ran headlong into the barricade. The barricade flew, and they were surprised. But Armin made awesome shots of.
Well, Armin
Misses?
decided that she was gonna shoot the goblins on the other side of this canyon,
Because they were archers.
and so she shoot and a miss, and then she decides to keep standing there instead of like laying down,
Yep.
and she gets shot
In
in
the
the shoulder
Is this number 3?
Yep. Poop arrow.
with a poop arrow,
Yep.
and
Gets
gets poisoned
Yep.
and almost dies again,
Yep.
Yep.
and is out of commission for the rest of the fight.
Yep, because she had to lay down.
Just laying there.
Yeah.
But the thing is Xenon, Naga, Mundark, and Doug all went down to fight at base level, and so what Xenon did is I think he cast the invisibility. Or was it you? No, he did enlarge. He
Yeah.
cast
Oh, yeah.
enlarge on Doug, so Doug was larger. So he was the size of a normal person finally, and giving
Yeah.
extra damage. So McGregor slid down the canyon side and took care of bugbears and stuff like that. And then, and Xenon saw that Armin was in distress, and he bounded up, and he cast Lesser Restoration.
He was very,
Concerned.
yes, Armin was kind of just like lying there, and he was cradling her head,
Yep.
and she was just kind of like, "Damn, get off of me." And, but he did probably save her life again
Yeah.
for the third time.
He just is there every time.
Yep, he's there. And then afterward, they found a whole bunch of loot on the creatures.
Still no damage. No damage.
We actually found up there where we were.
I don't think Doug got
The-
any damage, did he? No, because the rocks fell down. Did we get to that part already? Remember the rocks? Wait.
You got hit by a goblin,
Yeah,
a
the
corpse,
yeah, like
a body.
'cause-
Hit.
Oh no,
A
did
dead
he actually
body?
hit? Or because I
Yeah.
threw the corpse off
Yeah.
the cliff.
Because
Yeah.
you Misty stepped over there.
I misty stepped to the other side and then I kicked the corpse off of the cliff. I don't think it hit. I think
It was
he
just
dodged
close.
it.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
barely
Barely.
dodged it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So they got some pretty cool loot. They found a notebook, and they figured out that it was coded in Goblin because
Just like high roll after another.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is what is this? Oh, this is this. Okay, where's the loot? Oh, it's up there. Oh, let's look for it. Oh, it's right here.
Yeah.
Yep. So they found a puzzle box, and you actually find a cool dagger.
Which we still haven't opened.
Yep.
Puzzle
But
box.
Then you continue. Then the next session.
Dun, dun, dun.
But then.
Yep. The next session they continue down the ravine, and there's a big pile of like clothes and refuse and stuff like that. And Naga goes over and searches it.
But
and-
then.
okay,
Sorry. Yes.
and pocket sand comes out and he dodges it, and a goblin comes running out. He's like, ah! And another goblin releases giant wolf spiders, and the goblins don't make it, and the wolf spiders start attacking. And Doug and Armin take care of them.
I thought it was me and Naga.
Oh,
I
no,
took her.
yeah.
I killed
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
4 of them right off the bat.
Oh yeah, with your.
With lightning
Xenon
breath.
tried to hit one and he missed.
He was.
terribly.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
I mean, there was
Doug
there was
I
like
don't
one
think
turn
Armin
of me
did.
going, ha ha, and then missing a spider with
You
my
were still down
claws.
for the count, I think. And then Doug
Yeah.
helped kill 2 of them?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and you
Yeah.
found
Doug helped.
Yep.
Did something.
Yeah.
yep, and you found some more things,
Spiders.
and then
Which he's afraid of now. Oh.
Yep.
You heard how that
This
changes?
is why!
We'll get to that part.
yeah, and then they continued down the road, and they came to a crossroad, and they saw 2 heavily armored individuals known as the Nameless Ones. They're a group of, I guess you could call them paladins, or just an order that actually maintains and controls mages that get out of control. So they actually had a prisoner with his hands totally bound, chained together, and he had a muzzle on. And Armin decides to message.
Yeah, Armin thinks it's a good idea to say, like, what's up with this dude? So she sends a mind message to this individual.
Yep.
Basically saying, you know, why did they have you? What did you do? And
He says back,
he says, help me, I don't know what I did. And I probably shouldn't reveal why
Nope.
that affected me. No.
Nope.
no,
But-
because you haven't told anybody yet.
Nope.
Armin starts getting very distressed.
Yep,
by
she
that.
looks like she's going to start attacking people, and McGregor straight up looks her down, like stares her down, and I think it was pretty much an intimidation check to that, because she was
Yeah.
going to do something.
Yeah, Armin's kind of like, she's in the wagon, kind of like,
Keeled over.
like trying to not attack these people.
Yeah.
And so anyway, it's like very tense situation. So she sends a mind message to one of the paladins, doesn't she?
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and basically she says, she tells him that their prisoner cast a spell on her,
Yep.
and that she's going to try. She has to help him escape if they don't do something.
Yep. So he grabs a rod from his belt, pushes a button, turns, and it extends and hits him in the head and knocks him out. And then you're like, "Thank you," and they just start dragging him, heading that way. And you do find out that his trial is in how many months?
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah, and it's actually close to Armin's hometown.
Yep. It's the place that the trial will be taking place is in Ratnakara. Yeah, and then they, after a few more days' journey, they make it to Havel. They stay in the inn.
Slimy toad.
Yep, the Slimy Toad. And everyone passed their constitution save to not get food poisoning from the food.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, so the Slimy Toad really isn't an inn, it's more of just like a shady tavern that has a big room in the upper part. It's a very hostile hostel. You see, you had a bunch of different individuals there, but they woke up in the morning to commotion outside. They were hearing slapping and punching and
Yeah.
Weasley screaming. What did you guys see when you went out there?
Well, it was Armin. Well, no, we all went out, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all went out, and it
What's
was
his name? Eric?
Enric.
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 McGregor was beating up this dude,
Oh yeah, he was going at it.
and we were just like, okay.
Okay, what's going on here? Of course, he stopped to kind of tell us, but was he asking him, "What'd you do? Why are you here?"
Why are you here and why haven't we heard? Because they got hired to come to the swamp from the bosun to find out why their hideout hadn't been heard a single word or peep for 30 days. It's
Yeah.
a 10-day journey to the port of Baldair. Why is this guy here? He's got a busted arm, but why is he still here?
Right, and then I try to distract everyone for some reason with my minor illusion butterfly or something, I think, and it just fails.
Yeah, you tried to calm the situation
Oh,
down.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's
the townsfolk. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Didn't
they're like,
work out too great.
Yeah, and then they all just left anyways. So
Yeah, like, oh, whatever. Then they do a boat ride to the hideout. It took the entire day, but Naga helped to make sure it was actually quicker by using
My telekinesis mage hand.
and water.
And shape water.
Yep, shape water. They got there and they they find this, it's kind of a mound, and they turn and walk and they have to pass by a tree, and there's a cave entrance. They go in, they look, they find out that the supplies are well nastified by a month. They keep going in, and then they start seeing spider webs.
Lots of
Spider webs.
Spider webs.
And what does Doug do when he sees...
Wait, no, he waits.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Because we go in a little further.
they go in a little farther, and so Naga's actually using his torch and burning some of the spider webs on the walls, and
Telekinesis torch.
he's using mage hand, holding it. And so the entrance to this one area is like almost 30 feet tall, and they're looking up and they see 8 black eyes staring back at them of a creature that has to weigh 400 pounds. A giant spider's on the ceiling staring at him.
So this is what Doug does. He turns the other way and runs.
He said one thing first.
What did he say?
Nope.
And
Doug said
skedaddled out
no.
there.
Making more friends within
Just
the
so you
party.
know, though, these spiders were bigger than Doug.
Well,
He's a
yeah.
little guy.
Yeah.
You,
Okay.
That's
Doug
not saying
doesn't
much.
weigh 400 pounds. Of
That's
course
not
it's
saying
bigger.
much. It's like
Okay.
the keg of ale is bigger than you.
Well, the
Like,
keg
you
of
drink
ale
out
will
of that.
not eat him.
It'll roll over you.
Oh, it could.
Unless
you never
it's
know.
like a
Most
possessed
pans
keg
you
of
probably
ale.
wouldn't be able to pick up. A sturdy cast iron pan from back then.
Anyways,
Like a
Doug
half-
says nope.
Yep, he just runs off, and so Armin.
So,
You-
so Armin, she rolls initiative first, and she shoots Chaos Bolt.
Yep.
And,
Hits it.
does hit. Doesn't do very much damage, I don't think.
It retaliates.
It retaliates,
Yes,
'cause-
yes.
and it launches a web, grapples her, and starts pulling her towards it. And what
Pulls me
Z-
up in the air.
Yep.
Well, McGregor did hit with a
dagger. Yep.
Yeah.
And then
So I'm swinging.
yep. You're like ah! and so what Xenon does is he casts Misty Step, grabs a hold of her, cuts the thing, and she lands on him.
Yes, and then I immediately, so the spider's right above us, I cast sleep, and it works,
But it falls asleep and it releases.
and
Above them.
it falls on top of the both of us. Just,
It
Yep.
dies in the fall.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely
because
dead.
it like had like 3. It didn't have much health left
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah,
So Doug wasn't even needed, okay? Let's just clarify.
so we, Armin and Xenon have spider guts all over them.
Right.
Yep. But Xenon uses prestidigitation. I keep saying it wrong. I'm not the best at saying.
Prestidigitation?
Yeah. To clean both of them off, and then they turn. They find that there's a large shield. And that when you grasp it, it whoosh, goes back to a normal size. And there's another area that they can go into, and then that was the end of that session. So session 7, they move the shield, and there's a large cave with a large central area, like a large pillar in the center, so you can't look past it. So Doug and Kugruk go to the left, Naga, Armin, and Xenon and McGregor go to the right. They keep going and going, and then they see a very large shape.
Wait, no.
Tell them what's
We
on the
need to
ground
go-
first.
Oh yeah,
We
Yeah.
yeah.
And we need to preface a few things before we go into this story.
because we had found some loot before, and
Yep.
he had put on.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, I have a belt of ogre kind.
No.
Oh, no, not troll kind. Trollkin.
Yep.
Not Tolkien, but Trollkin.
and then Doug also had some loot. And
So Doug found a ring of anchoring and he
Didn't
had
know what it
that-
was.
Didn't know what it was.
Doesn't know it, but it
But-
looks
Doug
cool.
put it on.
Well, they rolled really high on Arcana, and Doug found they know that ring makes you so you can
breathe
breathe
underwater.
underwater.
Yeah. So you just need to know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and
we,
the ground
Yeah,
is
it's
covered in
just-
dried bloody hamburger. It looks like, and it doesn't smell good in there.
No. And it's all in like a rounded
Like
tracks
Yep.
of bloody hamburger.
So Doug and
Krug nut.
Krugnut are going to the
On.
left,
Mm-hmm.
and Doug sees this like little puddle
There's
of
a pool.
pool of water, and Doug decides to. Does he hear the sound first
Nope.
or no?
You see it.
We,
No, he didn't see it.
Yeah,
Doug
we
never
see it.
saw it.
We see it on the right side,
But Doug does
Yeah.
not see it.
and then Krugnut starts moving towards it.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
then
well,
right as
anyway.
he starts moving towards it, you go back
Yes.
to the pool.
Right. Doug decides to jump in the pool. So Doug jumps in the pool and he gets pulled all the way to the bottom
A
of
20-foot deep pool
this pool.
because
So-
the ring is cursed.
Yes.
It's called the Ring of Anchoring
He was anchored to the bottom of the pool.
for 1 minute.
So needless to say, Doug was down there bored.
Just trying to,
Just
Holding.
trying to move,
'Cause-
you know?
with the thought, I could just cut my finger off. It'll be all gone.
There's only two ways you can get rid of it. One of them is to cut your finger off. Doug's really attached to his finger.
Literally. So the large creature that they see is,
Every time.
it looks like a giant yo-yo.
Oh, you should
With
have brought
spikes?
It.
It's up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's
I
okay.
can show them. I can show you after. And it's a very creepy mechanical.
Kind of looks
terror.
steampunky.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, its wheels start spinning and it starts spewing out chunks of metal. And Mundark runs up, starts hacking at it. Kugruk does the same. McGregor tosses a dagger at it and ka-ching! But the one that's hitting it really hard physically is Mundark with his first hits. Then you guys start casting some spells and someone rolls something kind of interesting.
Yeah, so I had to roll on the Wild Magic Surge
Mm-hmm.
table, and I ended up getting telekinesis.
But only to pull.
Yeah, and was that when he shot out metal first and hit everyone except
Yep.
for me and Xenon,
Yep.
I think.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I did cast the telekinesis to pull it because there's kind of a
Not
little
yet.
not yet.
That was after Mundark took a lot of damage.
And went down.
Mundark?
Almost went. Not Mundark.
Kugruk.
Kugruk.
Kugruk went down because
Yep.
then McGregor went over to him.
Yep.
As Naga was blasting him with lightning, that seemed like it was one of the only things that was
Doing better damage.
doing much damage to it. But he was tearing apart because one of his abilities is if you start your turn near or within 5 feet of the said creature, you take slashing damage.
Lots of it because the thing
Like
was just
1d6,
spinning around.
Which at low level is pretty good. It's pretty good. So
Deadly.
these big boys were dropping pretty quickly, and
Yep. So Kugruk fell down. McGregor went in front, poured a potion of healing down Kugruk's throat. Then he went down, but then he also failed all of his death saves.
And
So he
what
got
was
he got pretty mangled and
Yeah.
beaten up, but the machine got pulled. You got
that? Yeah,
the
there was
telekinesis.
a kind of a rock wall,
Mhm.
so I grabbed onto it and pulled it, then pulled it into the wall, and then
As you were running around the corner.
Yes,
you're
as
like,
I was running and pulling it into the wall.
"Da-da-da-da-da."
Yep.
And I held him there for a couple turns. And
You did.
Yeah, two turns.
Yep. And then
And-
during that, you were blasting it the whole
Yeah.
time. And
Killed
then,
it.
and then
But
after.
I actually took damage this time.
Yep. But then after it kind of crippled, and then it went into a small shape and just stayed there. Xenon went over there. He's like, he just kept pumping healing into McGregor, but
It's the lifeless body.
he was just healing and making the corpse look nicer because it looked pretty mangled. And Kugruk was like, McGregor? Just kept touching him and he didn't move. Then Mundark knelt there and just slammed his head in the ground with everything he had. He's like, listen to me this once. And McGregor took a breath.
Through amazing rolls.
Yep. And
Very, 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 very unlikely rolls.
And then Doug shows up.
Yep.
Yes, and
Everything
we were
looks fine
all
to him.
very happy with Doug.
Yes.
So happy.
Doug did not know that the ring was going to keep him underwater for a whole minute. And
But
all that
everybody's
happened in a
fine.
minute, so I mean,
There's no PTSD from.
Nobody died.
Nope. Nothing happening.
He did.
Yeah, he
Well,
literally
he
died.
died, but then he came back to life, so that's
Yeah.
what the big deal is. Nobody died.
Yeah, came from blue flame stuff that we don't know. We don't know.
Well,
Purple
we'll
flame.
get to it.
It's blue. Everything's blue.
No, it's not. Actually,
Blue this house with a blue little window.
Okay.
no.
Blue corner.
Are you blue? Sorry, I had to.
It started. Oh my gosh.
Welcome, everyone.
It's happening.
Okay, then they, that was session 7.
Yeah.
So then at session 8, they slept, and there was an interesting occurrence that McGregor's locket.
That was after Mundark took care of. Because we didn't find out about Enric.
Oh yeah, explain that.
Yeah. So Enric was there the whole time. We kind of forgot to mention
Well, he
that.
he got knocked
we kind
down.
of pushed him to the front. We're like, hey, go check this out.
Yeah.
And come to find out, was it because Xenon read his mind?
Yep, Xenon.
And Mundark's lantern.
Oh yeah, they first they did. Mundark pulled a lantern out of his pack, and a strange, eerie, greenish glow happened, and you saw the last moments of a lot of people's lives, and they were all looking at like this, and all said no, and then the thing appeared and hamburgered them. The only one you didn't see pass away was Enric. So Xenon, with his new vest that shows his emotions, the vest it turned a bright red and looked like it was on fire. He grabbed Enric by the throat and he cast,
Detect thoughts.
detect thoughts, and he just started describing what happened. And what Enric had done is he found a package, he opened it, and he activated the device
Killing everyone.
to
Yeah.
kill everybody
On purpose.
on purpose.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so McGregor sat up, still beaten up. He looked at Mundark, and Mundark grabbed Enric by the head, like by the face, palmed him, and just carried him out. And you guys did hear some screams from our
Screams and
Yeah.
squishes and thwacks and
then stopped.
and
Yeah, and then
Rocky
there was
Balboa
silence.
punching meat sounds.
Yep, it was done then. But then they did finally sleep. After Mundark came in with a sack that did look like it was about the size of a head. But you have noticed that Mundark does collect
Yeah.
things' heads that he kills.
It's a hobby.
You all have to have one. So while they're sleeping, Doug and Armin decide to be on watch, and
Yeah.
Armin sees
Yeah.
McGregor's locket is kind of hovering and going. And what
So
does Doug?
Armin says, hey, Doug, why don't you go check that out?
So Doug's like, sure, why not? He's sleeping anyways. He wasn't gonna take it, by the way. He just wanted to go, take a look at it up closer. And so he touches it, and then he
Collapses on top of it.
collapses on top of him, and he is in this alley, and he sees. Doesn't he see McGregor in the alley?
He sees a little kid.
Oh, he sees a little kid in the alley, and he goes up and he tries to touch him, I think, but like his hand goes through
Yep.
him, like he's not really there.
Yep.
And so.
And then you decide just to walk to the end of the alley and you start over where you started.
Right, yeah. So it's kind of like Twilight Zone-y, where
You- And then you try to get Xenon.
Oh yeah, so then I'm like, Xenon, and I wake him up, and I'm like, I kind of explain the situation, and I kind of like, hey, go go check on Doug, cause
the reason he looked at it, no, because then Doug opened it
Yep,
up,
he opened the
and
locket.
he saw a picture of a woman and
And a
a
kid.
little girl.
Yep.
And so, that was part of the intrigue as to why he touched it and looked at it.
Well, you
Because
went
you
up
could
and
kind of see
you went
it,
in
right?
and opened it, and that's
then
what
I
you
saw
saw, and
that.
then you.
And then I was sucked into the,
So Xenon goes over there and tries to move Doug, and then Xenon collapses
Yep.
as well. So then, do I wake you up?
Yes.
Or
Yep.
so I'm like,
Yes, you do.
Naga.
And
And then Naga kind of doesn't want anything to do.
He
with
just-
the
he goes around the
situation.
I walk around the corner and fall asleep.
So I'm thinking, well, obviously we can't touch them, but I'm thinking maybe I can lasso them. So
Well,
no, no,
you
wait,
try to-
you
try to
woke
get
up-
Mundark.
Was it Mundark or
Yep.
Krug?
It was Mundark,
Yep, Mundark first.
because Krugnak didn't wake up.
Oh wait, it was Mundark before Xenon, wasn't it? Or was it?
Doesn't really
Whatever.
matter.
Anyways, Armin wakes up Mundark, and Mundark goes over there, and he collapses. And then it was Xenon, because I tried to lasso Xenon.
Yep.
So I do lasso him, and then I collapse. So we're all sucked into this
Yep.
stream.
So, what happens is then you've got Doug looking at this young teenage boy, and then Xenon's like, "Where's? Hey!"
And Doug's kind of relieved that Xenon's there,
Yeah.
because
And so they see
he's
this.
not the only one.
See this. This young boy is kind of huddled up in a junky alley. He gets up and he walks off, and you guys are kind of forced to follow him. And he's rummaging for food, and he actually finds a beaten up Minotaur child that's scarred up and is chained up. And he helps him up and gives him some food. Then it kind of cuts to you see a much older this child. You can definitely tell that it is McGregor, but he's got to be in his like late teens, maybe early 20s, and he's standing at the base of this spiral staircase with a very plush red carpet going up, red drapes everywhere. He's standing at the base of this spiral staircase, and you glance over, and then Mundark appears. He's like, oh no. And you see Mundark in a really fancy getup that barely fits him. He's the doorman, like guarding the door. And then these multiple women start coming down the spiral staircase, and McGregor's job is to help them down. And you see him caress one of their hands. Doug recognizes the face of the girl.
It's the one that he saw in the locket.
Mm-hmm. And but her 6 horns were not as long as they were in the locket. And then it cuts to McGregor and Mundark being beaten up, and it seems that they're in the bottom of a boat, bloodied up. And then it cuts again, and you see McGregor on the top straddling somebody on a bed, and blood all over the place. And then they see them taking an individual wrapped in a blanket, running off. And then you see the woman and McGregor smiling, and then you see McGregor holding his a baby, very happy, and then you see blood-drenched hands, and then you hear screaming. Then you guys wake up, and McGregor wasn't
We're
very
all on
happy
top
that.
of McGregor.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy you were on top. Yeah.
But so Doug feels kind of compassion towards McGregor because
Something happened.
something happened to him.
The brain trust was at it again.
The what?
The brain trust. You know, when you two get together,
Oh.
Yeah.
the plans and
Well-
concoctions.
Well, nobody died. Okay, let's just make that clear.
Yeah.
It
No
could've
one
been
was
a-
hurt.
Okay.
McGregor
Then.
was just exposed a little bit
Yep.
in a
Yep.
mental way.
Then I'm gonna kind of merge session 9 and 8 right now because what happens is Naga wakes up early and he goes crocodile hunting
Yes.
with
With-
Pegruk.
Harper.
Yeah, and I don't let anything go to waste. So Enric, his body, which for some reason after I put on my belt, it seems
It smells good.
it smells.
Good to go.
It has a good smell to it. This aged person meat.
Let's we might need to take a break. So
Yeah.
offspring.
Okay.
Offspring.
Dun-dun-dun.
Break time.
We'll get
To
we'll
be
get right back to
continued.
it.
We'll be back.
Diddle-diddle-diddle. Transition. Oh, I know. So it's just death.
So it's
Dreams of death for the last long while. Nagas has fun times when he sleeps.
Don't we all?
Doug has happy dreams.
Yep. Yep. So they head off, and it takes most of the day trekking through, and Xenon keeps cleaning off his hooves because he keeps soaking in, like sinking into the swamp. Little hooves. So they make it, and as they're walking, they do have to go very precariously through this area that they follow the goblin and the red cap, making sure that they don't step anywhere other than where they step, because you smell freshly cooked brownies. And Xenon's very careful when he walks, and he kind of whispers like, "There's fairies here. Don't make them mad." And continue on. The colors get a lot more vibrant. Like the greens have like a bluish or purplish hue at times, which is very odd. And then you come upon a giant mushroom.
Wait, we skipped a very
Yeah.
important
Doug's
Yeah.
harrowing
Yes.
task
Oh,
of
yes.
stupidity.
We
Get
skipped
this.
another Doug
Okay,
story.
not stupid. Very beneficial for all parties involved.
There was a river, and across the river they saw a slow-moving mound with a sword sticking out of its back. Doug thought, "I want the sword!" So he Well, his new boots that allow him to walk on water, he
Yeah.
ran up it.
Because there was a river. He saw
Yep.
him across the river.
Yep.
He saw him, saw the sword sticking out. He's like, hey, that guy looks like he's in pain. Maybe I should get that sword out of his back. Plus, it looked cool.
Nobody else thought this.
Everyone else was just walking. Whatever. So, Doug runs across the river, rolls really well, climbs
Yeah.
him, pulls the sword out, runs back
He
across the river, back to continuing on to our journey.
and the mound, of course, is like and starts following them, but it's much slower. So they always look back and they just have a shadow
The
going.
whole time we're walking, here's the mound and here's Doug.
Just slowly increasing the lead.
Yep.
Just
Yes. It just keeps going,
Yep.
keeps going.
Keep
He's
at
still
it, buddy.
following us.
Yep.
I don't know if he's trying to eat me or thank me, but I'm not waiting.
Well, he
to
did
find
swing
out.
at you.
Yep.
Oh, he
Yeah.
did
he's-
slowly.
I don't know if it was like, ow, my
He
back.
probably didn't
you
know.
did that, or
Probably didn't
Yeah.
know what I was
Yeah.
doing, but
So-
okay.
or you tried to stab me again with the sword that was in my back. You
yeah.
just like wiggled it around.
Let me get that out.
I'm
for
helping!
ya.
Yeah. Well, then they do make it to the large mushroom that actually has a door, but as they're coming up, there's like raised gardens. One to the left is beans, and you've got one that's pumpkins, and then farther up to the right, it looks like just one that's demolished. And so they get to Naga goes in and starts a conversation with Auntie. And as you're
Because
walking,
we all know how well the last conversation with Auntie went with
Yeah,
the other
Armin's-
people of the group.
Armin's been banished
Yeah.
to the outside.
and Doug as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Doug doesn't want to go in there because she kind of scares him. She's scary. And so he just sits over by the beans.
Yep.
Doesn't he go pee or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You think about peeing on the beans.
Yep, you
But
think
then I
about
don't
being,
pee on the beans
Yeah,
because
about
I
the-
don't want to get in
Yeah,
trouble.
yeah, about the lady's
Yeah.
house that you're like, oh, the murder lady. Okay.
Yeah,
she
let's
just-
pee on her stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
No, but he didn't. Okay.
that's Doug.
That's Chris.
He's so
it's
likable.
just- He is likable. Anyways, yeah, Doug's sitting by the beans.
So as Naga goes in, he sees Auntie wiping her face, and she's like, "Oh, welcome."
Surprised.
Yep.
Looks around the room, seeing all manner of mystical objects and jars and, of course, little things floating around. But it looks nice and homely and doesn't smell horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm offered tea. All very surprising from a hag,
Hmm.
racism included. So then she tells her little Nilbog goblin buddy to go get the rest of the crew, which I advise against, but he doesn't anyway. And of course, the fun part of the group enters,
Mm-hmm.
being cautious and, holding themselves back from
Yeah.
threatening to murder.
Armin was trying
Nice
to be
ladies.
very reserved.
Yep.
Naga kind of talked a little bit of sense into her before, so she's holding back, and she's being wise about the situation.
Naga's
Not
been
trying to
around
get
a little
killed
bit
for the
longer.
fourth time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't poke the bear.
Don't poke the bear.
Yeah, so they also get offered some scones
Right. And yeah, if
and
we
tea,
Doug
And-
turns it down.
and Xenon actually goes in.
Mhm.
He really enjoys the tea.
We're all too afraid.
Yep.
I mean, Doug's afraid.
I drink.
Yep. And then
Big bargain.
yep, she says that she can smell that there's a change in Naga, and that there always was something different about him. And she,
Puberty.
Puberty. Yes, that's
and
exactly what it is.
sure, and she offers to help in in payment to helping Naga, Armin, and Xenon finding out answers for a vial of blood, because she needs it for spell components to help figure out what's going on. She needs 2 things done. Number 1, someone stole her cabbages. The atrocity.
I still
Someone has stolen them.
And then the other one will be, she'll tell you about when you get back. But the cabbages need to be taken care of now.
Right.
Gosh.
Cabbages.
Then we. What?
Then you head out.
Yeah. I was like remembering how far
Well,
we
we did.
got.
Who all gave the blood? I did.
I did.
Doug did not.
I did.
Xenon was the first one that did.
Yeah, Xenon did. And Doug was the only one that didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Doug ain't about that life. That egg life.
Okay. And then they headed off. They it was a pretty easy trail to follow, just
Yeah.
very large footprints. And then they
That
got.
affected
No, I'm remembering what happened.
fey creatures.
It seemed the closer that they got, Xenon looked a little pale, and the little goblin guide they had looked pale as well. And so he kind of headed off.
Didn't they start like moving really slow and stuff?
Yep, sluggish. Looked like they're kind of looking nauseous and stuff like that. Xenon. What you can see is the trees have gotten even thicker. The bases of them are far larger. The vines have gotten. It's a lot more like the fire swamp. Just kind of like over the top. And of course, as you're going, like weird. It always feels like something's watching you. There's movement in the corners of your eyes, but as you're walking and you see a large tree like this and 2 shadows moving.
Big shadows.
And so Naga decides to cast invisibility and sneak up.
Yes.
And he sees 2 large shapes, because it's getting really dark and he doesn't have dark vision.
Nope.
He sees
Nope.
2 large shapes, but one of them has a glowing purple pulse coming from one of its shoulders.
And I see the bag.
Yep.
Or a bag.
You see a bag.
The bag.
Yeah. And then you go back and you tell him, still being invisible.
Yep.
So
You know what they were though.
No, but I kind of guessed that they're
Yeah,
large, like troll or large,
creatures.
yeah, angry
Okay.
creatures. I mean, I could see the side of the face of
Yeah.
one, but didn't really know what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where we kind of.
Looked angry, deadly,
That's where we left off
finger stabby kind of people.
on our 9th session.
No.
So this is. So what we can do now is I will introduce.
9.5.
I'll introduce Naga.
Naga.
Do you think the lighting would be better over here? Let me
Maybe,
try one.
yeah.
Try it. See if it's better.
Let's see if
Chris's
we-
white hands reflect the light.
There
Pale.
we go.
Pale pays off.
Pale pays off.
Oh, here's yours.
Let me see
Naga,
her.
naga, naga, naga.
Is that his theme song?
And then this is Armin in her all of her glory.
And Xena.
This is great.
Yep.
I want this to be live right now.
And this is
Wait,
Bird.
It's just focusing on my hand.
There's Xenon, and then here's
Or
Mundark,
maybe my hands look so wrinkly. Maybe I do this.
Kugruk, McGregor.
Can you even see him? It's so far away. I can't tell.
He's so small.
And what they faced
I think it's-
before.
Oh yeah.
The hamburger maker.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
so focusing on
Hamburger
my
helper.
Can you see him?
Hamburger.
What? That's funny.
Actual footage of Doug jumping into the pool.
That's about how it was. Yeah.
Okay, so so the next time that this group here will meet up, we'll actually continue where we had left off. But next week, same time. Okay.
It's not weird. They just want to see Doug.
Okay, you can.
There's
Alright,
his
cool.
little pan
No.
that he cooks with.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
next week, I believe if it works out for Chris, I talked to the other guys. We can start our other campaign.
Ooh.
That one will all be. It won't be in person like this one is. This one will be using Vorpal board. I should be receiving that tomorrow, so I'll be testing that out this week, making sure that it can actually work. And then the following week, I'm going to try to get. We're going to do a one-shot of Call of Cthulhu, the new 2D20 system with Modiphius. That will be with two individuals, and three, because one will be via Vorpal board, the other two will actually be in person. So it's going to be kind of a merger of that. So we're going to be having 3 different campaigns going at the same time. I'm working on hopefully starting another one so we can have content every single Saturday. So yeah. It's pretty exciting. This is
Yeah.
things will be getting better. I'll be getting more stuff as we go along, and make sure that you follow, subscribe and stuff.
Yep.
Do all that stuff that other
Smash.
People say-
Subscribe, share
Smash
the link
things.
with your friends.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Next time we'll actually get to play.
Yep.
So
Send
it'll be
money.
pretty fun.
Yep, because we'll be rolling dice and stuff.
Yeah. So we won't know what's gonna happen either.
Nope.
It's gonna be exciting.
Oh yeah.
Will Armin almost die again?
Stay
Yes.
tuned.
Who knows?
No.
Will
It's-
Doug make
that's-
someone
that's
else
a-
mad even though he
that's
thinks
a good-
everybody likes him? Probably.
Probably.
Well, cool. Well, that's Froggy and Friends
Yep.
signing off.
Bye.
Yes.